Northerly Stakes coming up next. Horses are about to enter the yard. Let's start our preview with the one, Western Empire, for Grant Williams and Billy Egan.
Well, the 8-year-old is looking to win a Northerly Stakes to add to his railway stakes that he's already got, his WATC Derby and his plethora of other feature races that he's been able to accumulate over the careers. To wait for age here today, he's a big improver from being in the handicap of a railway.
I did sneak a look at him behind the scenes and down in the stalls. He looks fantastic here today. He's such a big, beautiful type and truly is a staying type.
There he is making his way down to the mounting yard. He's 8 into $7.50, back out to $8. The 2 is Osipenko. Had absolutely no luck in the Railway Stakes last start, but the draw looks very, very tough for him to overcome. Chris Waller trains, Fred Kersley rides.
Well, it's obviously a race that's going to mean a hell of a lot to Freddie Kersley and the entire Kersley family, being named after the Fighting Tiger Northerly. But for Osipenko here, you're right. He's just been riddled with bad barriers since he's come across here to the west. He drew barrier 14 of 16 in the Railway and he got caught 3 deep, the trip no cover. Today he's drawn barrier 6. Well, he's going to jump eventually from 15 by the time they let them go. But again, it just looks like he's not going to get the right run, unfortunately, for them. What does Freddie Kersley do? Does he chance his hand and charge forward? Probably not. Does he go really negative, grab hold straight away and then cut back inside horses and try and join that 3 and 4 deep moving line when it starts to emerge? I have no idea what the answer is there, Locke, but unfortunately it's an ugly scenario either way.
I heard Freddie speak during the week and he said he's going to be definitive either way from that wide draw. If it's forward, it's forward. If it's back, it's right back. So time will certainly tell. The 3 is Watch Me Rock, the Railway Stakes winner for Grant Williams and Nash Rawilla rides.
He's now won 8 from 10 since that set of blinkers went on. It's just been a brilliant gear change from Grant Alana. He was always a horse that showed a level of ability, but since the headgear's gone on, it's really just made him into a racehorse. Even last campaign with the headgear on, he was still sort of floating and waiting for horses. He wouldn't put fields away, but that's been the difference this time around. He put them away when he was able to hold off, rope them in and beat Cosmic Crusader in the Asian Bow. What Willie Pike loved most about his win in the Railway Stakes was that he was able to use his barrier, sit up close handy, but then really show that turn of foot to put that race to bed in a matter of strides. Historically, the Railway winners have gone well, but without winning in the Northerly Stakes. If you're taking a look at the ones that Grant Alana have trained, pretty much every single time they've had a Railway winner, they've gone on to run a placing in the Group 1 Northerly. So why couldn't it be any difference here? This is the reason that Nash Rawilla's come to Western Australia.
Great to see him take out the Railway Stakes 2 weeks ago. He's fit, he's got good muscle tone. No knocks for me, but might not be my pick of the yard here.
The 4 is Apulia for Team Hayes and Michael D.
I really like the progression of this horse this time in. He went around in a Vobus Gold Star at 1,500 metres. Then he went around at 1,600 metres in the Chester Manifold. He's made his way across to Western Australia. He's been here for long enough so that they can get a barrier trial into him as well in between. And it was an elite barrier trial. He ran second to Want a Winner, who's a prolific winning sprinter of our local ranks here. And Apulia was actually pulling ground off him late at the short course. So he's a month between runs with a trial in between, and he's the kind of horse that could end up close enough to them in that 3 deep line to be a real threat.
I really like him. I think he's got fantastic muscle tone. He's got that testosterone as well up on the others. His coat's glowing and he's obviously done well since being here.
The 5 is Hemlock Stone, the Perth Cup winner, Grant Williams, and a great opportunity for Austin Gallardi, his first ever ride in a Group 1.
It certainly is, and for those that aren't familiar with Austin's story, when he was a 3 kilo claimer, he hadn't ridden enough winners to actually be eligible to ride here at Ascot on a Saturday, and so now that he's a senior, he's riding winners each and every week. He celebrated a double last week here, and now he's got his first Group 1 ride. But for the horse Hemlock Stone, you mentioned that Perth Cup, which was his crowning moment on the 1st of January 2025, and ultimately that'll be their long distance plan for him this time around. This is just a stepping stone.
What a win that was in the Perth Cup. It's great to see him here in the Northerly Stakes. He is with the clerk of the course under wraps because he can get a little bit of a handful here, but he does look very relaxed leading into today's event.
6 Diamond Scene, Michael Grantham, Brad Parnham.
Caused a bit of a boil over first up when sitting in the breeze and winning the Eurythmic Stakes, and in the process beat Watch Me Rock by a length, and then he was actually probably the best backed runner in the Railway. He was $18 into $7 should I say, in overall betting. He ran 4th, but he was beaten 2 lengths. He and Watch Me Rock obviously skyrocket in the weights. He carried 54.5 Railway Day, today 59 at weight for age. He's definitely here a horse that could be ridden forward. Obviously we're all talking about how little little speed, how little pressure there is in this race. Brad Parnham, a very naturally aggressive hoop in the early stages. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the Cerise and White of Diamond seen right up there in the firing line.
7, Sentimental Hero. What a run this was in the Railway Stakes. Peter Fernie, Craig Newitt.
And what a horse he's been for these connections. He was formerly raced by Peter's Investments. He was purchased as an older horse. They bought him as a 7-year-old, paid sort of $40,000-$50,000 for him. He's now won a Boulder Cup. He's won a Kalgoorlie Cup. He's run placings in other features as well. Won an ATA this time last year. Went around favourite in a Perth Cup. He's just been a wonderful story as a tried horse. And for him to run third off a 7-week freshen up from 2,300 back to the mile in the Railway was outstanding.
Huge effort last start, that's for sure, Scott. He's come through that run very, very well, I see here. Looks fantastic for it and excited to see where he gets to.
8, Zip Away, Neville Parnham, Lakdaramoli.
Well, the day that he won the Guineas was the same day that his stablemate won the Railway Stakes in Bustler. It's a day that the Parnham family will never forget, but unfortunately now 742 days have passed and neither of those horses have been able to win another event. Barrier number 1 has been the most successful barrier across Northerly Stakes history, but with this horse here, he's going to go around at a big price still.
9, Ginger Baker, Dan and Ben Pearce, Joy as a party.
There were plenty of times that we suggested that Ginger Baker was on his mark and he continued to elevate, he continued to win good quality races, but ultimately for me, he's simply outclassed.
10, In Good Order, Dan Morton, Sean O'Donnell.
Really ran well first up at 1,400 metres, but the sprint came out of his legs very quickly, second up at a mile in the Railway, and he was one of the first horses beaten. He didn't give it away, but he certainly looked like a grinding one-pace stayer that was wanting further.
The 11, Cosmic Crusader, he's on the second line of betting for Michael Grantham and Clint Johnson-Porter.
He's huge X-Factor, this horse. The winner of 7 from 15, the real progressive horse on the rise. Since he's gone to Michael Grantham, he's had 5 starts. He's won 3 of those, and in the other 2, there are plenty of punters out there that either talking through their kick or not probably suggest that he was a good thing beaten on those occasions. He's got some super talent.
He's a fantastic looking animal as well. Extremely well balanced here. Looks well in the coat and moved well. No knocks from the yard.
The 12 is Depth of Character. Annabelle and Rob Archibald have made Perth and Ascot a happy hunting ground in recent years. Chris Parnham rides.
We had last year's Railway Stakes winner Port Lockroy. We had last weekend's Winterbottom Stakes winner in Libertad, and now Depth of Character here. Look, I must admit, I had to do a second take and actually had to make sure it was accurate when I was going through the sectionals out of the Railway. He was no better than 4 deep the trip, no cover, and he clocked the fastest last 200 metre split after that Torah run. He was actually super.
13, Vivier, Kieran Maher, Ethan Brown.
Was a winner 3 starts ago of the Big Dance qualifier, then ran second in the Big Dance to Gringotts, beaten a length and a quarter, then went around in the 5 Diamonds, got the job done beating Transatlantic. It's definitely good enough form to be elevating here today, and the punters really like her.
She looks really well in condition. It's always hard when I haven't been able to see her in the flesh before, but to me her coat was off a little bit slightly.
14, Admiration Express, Jason Miller, Brad Rawiller.
Ran second in this race last year, and as Jason Miller suggested to you earlier in a pre-race interview, he actually thinks that she's going as well, if not better, this time around, so she might be the forgotten runner, the grey.
Here is our favourite, the 15, King of Light. He's the unbeaten 3-year-old Dan Morton, Willie Pike.
Well, let's reel off some names of 3-year-olds that have won this race, Lockie. Playing God, It's a Him, KC, Perfect Reflection, Arcadia Queen, Amelia's Jewel, and potentially today, King of Light. He's the winner of the Guineas and the Faritha and the Belgravia and 5 from 5. I love this horse.
He's such a beautiful horse. He moves so well. He's just such a casual customer when he comes here. There's no major knock.
And here is the 16, Pure Excess, the 3-year-old filly with Steve Parnham getting down to 50 kilos. Dan Morton trains.
I'm going to say that Tess has probably swallowed a fly there, Lock, if I'm going to have a punt. But for Pure Excess here, think about poor Stevie Parnham in the last couple of weeks and what it's looked like for him. Since winning on this filly 21 days ago in the Champion Fillies, where she carried 56 kilos, he's had the unenviable task of getting his weight all the way down. This filly will carry 50 kilos. Stevie Parnham's done it very, very tough, but he knows why he's doing it. He's won this race previously on Playing God. He's won this race previously on It's a Him and on KC as well. 4 times Stevie Parnham has won this race, and 3 of the 4 have been on 3-year-olds, so I know why he's done the hard work.
You know how to back a winner, Scott, that's for sure. I did swallow a fly there, but Pure Excess, she's a beautiful type. I'm really excited to see what she can produce here today. It's a really strong type. She's come on so well through her runs and just continues to progress.
Oh, how good is Perth, Tess? Only a minute before the last Group 1 of the Australian race racing season. Michael, talk us through this market ahead of the Tap Touch Northerly Stakes.
Thanks, Lockie. Fantastic betting race this year, the Northerly. Pretty much every runner has had some level of support. A stack of money for King of Light in recent days. He is by far the worst result on the book, but I can tell you that Western Empire has been heavily commissioned today. As much as $11 was bet, he's now $7. Cosmic Crusader, 7 into $6.50. There's been a $2,000 bet on the filly Pure Excess at 30 to 1, and Vivier was as much as $14, now $6.50. Really good late support there. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Thanks, Michael. Tess, what do you like from the yard?
Recovered from that fly here, Lock. There is still a few buzzing around, but very, very tough decisions here for mine. There's no knocks on our favourite, King of Light. I really like the stablemate Pure Excess as well. She's continued to progress and looks fantastic here. Going for some value, Apulia, the 4. I think he's a fantastic looking animal. Plenty of testosterone there. Nice, strong type for the Hayes boys. And Michael D, I know it's an Eastern Stater, but I think that's the best looker from the yard here.
Thanks, Tess. Scott, how do you order the 4?
15 for me, Lockie, King of Light. Almost each and every year I tip into a 3-year-old in this race, and I see no reason to change up that pattern. It's been successful. 45% of these Northerly Stakes winners over the last 15 years have been 3-year-olds, and this one looks like one of the better ones that we've seen, and that's not without showing great respect to Amelia's Jewel and to KC, and I've just swallowed a fly too. They got me 15, 1, 11 and 2. 15 for me, King of Light. I think Willie Pike will end up 3D with cover and be looking to explode on straightening. From 1 in Western Empire, who was very good under the conditions of the handicap in the railway. He gets today a 4 kilo weight swing on Watch Me Rock for a 3/4 length margin. He can absolutely turn the tables. Number 11 in for 3rd in Cosmic Crusader, the winner of only a listed race last start in the Carbine. But the ratings suggest that had he got a run in the Railway Stakes, he more than would have measured up. In fact, he would have jumped favourite. And then I've got 12 in there, Depth of Character, off the back of that completely luckless run. I'm hoping from an inside draw that he might be able to sell a little bit closer today too for Chris Parnham. 15, 1, 11 and 12.
15, King of Light, the 3-year-old is our favourite. That is the way that Scotty is tipping in the last Group 1 of the Australian racing season. It's the Tap Touch Northerly Stakes. King of Light, your favourite, at $2.50. Vivier at $6. Cosmic Crusader at $6.50. And Western Empire an $8 chance. But they're about to begin the loading process at the famous 1,800-metre start here at Ascot. So we'll hand you upstairs to the voice of the WA racing community, Darren McCauley, for the call of the Tap Touch Northerly Stakes.
Lockie Taylor joining us as well. Good on you, Lockie. Thank you indeed. No flies up here, thankfully. Not yet. As the moment builds towards our last Group 1, in goes King of Light. So the field now well and truly in the hands of the starter. Admiration Express goes in. Walking forward, Cosmic Crusader, drawn outside of the favourite, King of Light. The reigning Perth Cup winner, Hemlock Stone. Depth of Character, beautifully drawn over there in gate number 2. Zip Away will come out of 1. In goes Sentimental Hero, Ginger Baker. We wait on Western Empire and Vivier to come along. Kieran Maher looking to go back-to-back in the Northerly. A race that's had many names over the generations, the decades, but always stands as our premier Group 1 weight for age attraction of the season. Going up now into the stalls, Diamond Scene. And so in good order, taken forward, goes up there, joins the line. Dan Morton with 3 runners in the race. The Hayes trained Apulia goes forward. And we wait now on Osipenko, Watch Me Rock, and the filly, the only filly in the race, Pure Excess. So they're almost set to go. The last of the Group 1s for the calendar year here in Australian racing. Watch Me Rock, the Railway Stakes winners there. And here's Osipenko coming up. And so it'll be Pure Excess who completes the line. Apulia just wanting to rest back on the tail of the gates. Pure Excess led up towards her stall. They're almost ready to go. 1,800 set. Pure Excess squeezed in. Depth of Character steadies in 2. They're right. Offered any tick of the clock. They stand at Beckett's gate. Ready. Racing. Zip away from the inside, clearly the first of them away. Into stride quickly in good order from Admiration Express, and also Depth of Character holding a spot early. Egan wasting no time. Western Empire comes across, and so does Osipenko. Driving forward, Diamond Scene as they hit the first corner. Admiration Express further back being followed then. Next of all, Watch Me Rock. The speed was really turned on early. Further back in the field to Cosmic Crusader outside Sentimental Hero. King of Light right back there in the field. It's settled probably a dozen lengths from the leaders. A length and a half away, Hemlock Stone from Ginger Baker, and a good margin back behind them. Apulia Vivier last of all, the 3-year-old filly Pure Excess in a strung out affair in the Northerly. 1,000 metres to go, and the leader Osipenko had crossed them comfortably, led the way and led them running. Running second, Western Empire over on the outside, going up there next of all. Diamond Scene occupies third spot, but just a little wide. Then Zip Away fourth, getting a gun run in good order. Fifth being followed over on the outside, Depth of Character handy. Then Admiration Express, the grey mare down on the inside of Cosmic Crusader. The 3-year-old King of Light is next of all. He's outside of Watch Me Rock, Hemlock Stone, the rail. Followed further back on the fence, Ginger Baker. Calling it a day, Sentimental Hero. Vivier coming around the outside. Well back, Pure Excess, and last of all, Apulia. Osipenko at the 400 led them for home over Western Empire. Depth of Characters there. Also around the outside, Cosmic Crusader. Let's go. He's coming with his run. King of Light under heavy pressure back in the field. Cosmic Crusader reached the lead. Here's Watch Me Rock. He's coming out after Cosmic Crusader. Cosmic Crusader, Watch Me Rock. The railway winner cutting him down. Watch Me Rock, Cosmic Crusader. Who'll get the bob of the heads? Cosmic Crusader. Cosmic Crusader has won the Northerly a half ahead. Watch Me Rock. 3 lengths away at Western Empire and Depth of Character. It was close for third. In behind them, in good order, Osipenko, followed by Hemlock Stone, Ginger Baker. Sentimental Hero, Diamond Scene back there. Depth of Character pulling up quickly, Vivier. Then King of Light. The 3-year-old really hasn't shone at all today and suffers his first ever defeat. Apulia Never Likely, Pure Excess well back, and they're amongst the last of them home in the Northerly of 25. A great battle. Cosmic Crusader, ridden by Clint Johnston Porter, gives Michael Grantham his first Group 1 winner. Cosmic Crusader takes out the Northerly Stakes. Clint Johnston Porter with his second Group 1 victory staves off the determined challenge of Watch Me Rock. And a long way back to third. Oh, they were there everywhere. Western Empire, in fact, Western Empire's in the middle. Osipenko, the rail, Depth of Character. And in fact, it might be Western Empire that does just get third, although he pulled up pretty quickly in the run on. It's 11-3-1. 11-3-1 and 2. In 1:48.48, they ran the clock. And the margin ahead, 4 3/4 back to third. Incredible to think there was such a margin between the first 2 horses home and the others in this high quality field. They dominated. Johnston Porter, he got going. He had Cosmic Crusader in full flight, the horse that of course missed the run in the Railway Stakes but won the Carbine Club the same day. Watch Me Rock won the Railway, and here they are, head and head going to the line. Cosmic Crusader getting the job done just for Peters Investments. What a great finish. The hyphenator's on his way back. A Group 1 win for him today follows his railway success last year, and a magnificent moment for Michael Grantham. Let's go to the yard here. The final event over the 1,000 metres gets underway at 5:42, but here's Lockie down there in the enclosure, no doubt with a very proud Bob Peters, the managing partner of Peters Investments, and no stranger to the winner's circle in this race. Lockie.
Thanks, Darren. I'll start with Bob and I'll make my way over towards Michael Grantham very, very shortly. But Bob, Cosmic Crusader, he's the horse that has always shown Group 1 ability.
that might have happened in the previous race, but still that's the past, and it's very good to win this race.
What have you made of the last 6 to 8 months with this horse? He's seemingly just come and continued to improve, and on a big stage like today, he's delivered.
Yeah, well, he had an injury, and I gave him 12 months off to get over it, and I think that was the making of him, because he was a bit fine before, but he developed well, and he's a big strong horse now.
Since we've come back to Ascot, those first 2 starts, he was unlucky on both of those occasions. What were the instructions to Clint Johnson-Porter here today? Because he gave him an absolute 10 out of 10.
No, I asked Clint to go forward and make his luck.
How does this compare? Your first Group 1 with Michael Grantham. How have you enjoyed working with him over the last few years?
No, Michael's great. No problems at all there. He does what I ask him to do, and everything goes pretty smoothly.
Is it a different dynamic these days, with obviously your grandson Liam involved, who is such a close friend of Michael's?
Yes, no, they get on well together, and they work well together. Everyone works well together, and it's a very pleasant atmosphere there.
Another Group 1 to the long list. Well done.
Thank you.
There's Bob Peters. He's the man of the moment, CJP.
Clint Johnson-Porter joins us now. Portsy, since this horse resumed for Michael Grantham, you've been adamant that he's a Group 1 animal.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I thought I was the one getting in his way, and always thought he was a good horse, and I was so gutted when he won the Carbine Club, and I thought he should have won the Railway that day, so for me to get it right today is pretty special.
We're about to go and watch the racing at Geraldton, Clint, so I might let you have a little bit of moment to yourself, and then we'll come back and have a little bit of an extended chat after they're done.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say my granddad passed away last night, and it means a lot when I miss. It really does.
There's Clint Johnson-Porter after the win of Cosmic Crusader.